Good morning, good afternoon to all my lovely brothers and their lovely sisters. We revert back to the old setup of two guys in the podcast for today. Hope we might see Kiwi in the next episode. Uh, yeah, so that's that. And you know what? I don't know. Today morning, I just woke up and I come with this weird question in my mind. That is, do you think sweat and pee are cousins? Do you
Maybe,
think sweat and pee are cousins?
maybe.
Uh, Definitely yes.
Scientifically, I think yes.
No, scientifically, definitely yes.
Obviously,
Both the
scientifically, yes.
salty.
Uh, yeah.
But by the way, I've tasted my sweat though a lot of times, and it's super salty.
Good for you. I mean, I think everyone has tasted their tears and sweat at some point of their life.
I mean, uh, I mean, I have to the point maybe just maybe the its other cousin also maybe have little bit of a drop. When we are kids.
No way. That is disgusting. No way. You're just bluffing.
I think I have, but another story.
Some for some other day.
Yeah. Anyway, on the contrary, speaking of saltiness, so I'll add on something. I just came in my head, though it's not part of the plan. Was that so? Remember, I went. I used to go to a lot of countries. At a period of time when we were in school days, I used to travel a lot in between, especially the second Eid holidays that we used to get in Dubai. The the Eid al Adha. That time I used to travel a lot to other countries.
Yeah.
So this is about I traveled to Kenya. I don't remember what I think that was in 2016. So I was about 16, 17, 16 years old.
Yeah.
I went to for the safari to see the wildlife in the savannah in Kenya. Amazing experience. The only thing I we missed out was the great migration of the wildebeests uh, that travel from Tanzania and they come to Kenya. So basically, what happens is when then there's dry season in Tanzania in the Serengeti Park, National Park, they will migrate all the way to Kenya where the weather is a bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we had this guide, and I think we finished our tour or our second day of tour in the savannah, and he was talking about the man-eating lions because the place where we were, there are no man-eating lions, but he was
Mm-hmm.
talking about the same position under another national park within Kenya that rumors are there that there were some man-eating lions there. But anyway, so speaking on the man-eating lions, the topic comes up: ki why do animals, once they taste human flesh, why do they not revert to their old prey or their dietary meat then and switch to human beings? You know what he said? He said our meat is too salty.
Mm.
So essentially, we are not actually the meal. But if they end up hunting us and they taste us our blood, the salt in it just makes them feel like, oh my god, this is so much superior than what I've ever tasted. They become bloodthirsty. So we asked him, how do
Yeah.
you know? Possible because these if you're from tribal men, they could end up being cannibalistic because on the contrary, in India we do know some of if we come originally from India. Yeah, so there is a group of people in India called the Aghoris. Hindu Babas. Aghoris. Have you heard about Aghoris? Do a bit of
Yeah.
Google search. Who are they? The they have a cannibalistic tendency, but what they essentially do is they don't go and killing human beings. They're trying to eat dead bodies. They don't eat humans alive. They don't sacrifice human beings, but they tend to eat dead bodies. But these ancient cultures, if you follow over time, they used to have cannibalism. So it's not something alien to to us, or the human tendency. So that's that. So you got basically have to shoot the lion or a tiger, once they eat the human being. And
Mm.
then I think, and the thing was, also when we landed in the capital city Nairobi, okay, because and we had a different driver that day to pick us from the airport and this, and put us in the hotel. He was talking about the famous man-eating lions of the Tasovo region in Uganda. The Ghost and the
Mm.
Darkness. Have you heard about the Ghost and the Darkness? There were two lions.
No.
It's a very famous story. So basically, when the Britishers were ruling, what they used to do was they used to use a lot of Indians and a lot of native people from a lot of Commonwealth countries wherever they used to rule, and then they wanted to make railways in Uganda, so they made them as slaves and they used them to make the railways. That's why a lot of Indian population is still there in Uganda and Kenya, but they are basically nationals of Uganda and Kenya, but they were bought from India.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what happens is, that these two lions should come up and then eat them because they were man-eating lions. And now what happened was, once they shot those two lions, they stuffed them with, how they stuff those dead bodies and they put it in a museum. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you so you kill us, we shoot you down, and we put you in a museum. So the two lions are in the
Mm-hmm.
museum somewhere. And
Yeah.
they were a special kind of species, by the way. Uh, they were the Kosovo lions, and I was reading about these lion species. Yeah, it's so hot in that particular area, that some of the lions don't have manes. Also, males don't have manes, so
Yeah.
they end up eating a lot of bunch of human beings. Anyway,
Nice.
some extra things that just came up in my mind. Anyway, the main question we'll just ask before we move on to some of the topics that we were thinking of talking about is, how did you feel shooting the previous episode? Because we were talking about some serious issues, okay? And so, how was the feeling, and what feedback did you get if you had shared with some of your mates back there in Canada? Any kind of feedback? What did you get, or how did you experience
Yeah,
your?
some people were like that. People were like that these topics don't really get a lot of light, and it's kind of good to be brought out. And there are positive and negative outcomes to it. There was some controversy on what we spoke about. In like people didn't agree completely with us on the part where you should not have fat models. But I mean, it's people's. Everyone has a different way of looking at stuff, and I agree with most of their opinions. That no, some say they should be accepted. Some say actually it's not really a good thing to promote it, like you said, that it's an unhealthy lifestyle. So there were few people who spoke about it.
Uh, yeah, yeah. But the thing is, it's all about, like, what I was saying is your role models. Once you idolize your role models, like, this is the same thing that has happened. Is like, if you look at back in a couple of years when when fitness was this big thing, at oh, you have to look a certain way. But when it's pushed to an extreme, then people follow the extreme follow. And some extent, that is also unhealthy. We've discussed both sides of the coin, yeah. But
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is that already what is healthy, if they push to an extreme, that also becomes unhealthy. Now think about something which is not necessarily healthy, and you push that to an extreme, then what would be the consequence of the other side? You don't know. That's the thing. Already, and the most interesting thing, or the funny thing what happened today was, I was again, I always like to bring up this channel sidemen all the time. I don't know why, because I'm just obsessed with them. But today what they were, I was they have another channel called Sidemen Reacts. They were reacting to the very same topic we were talking about, the videos of a year ago. But they were reacting to the video of people doing a lot of cosmetic surgeries, plastic surgeries to look a certain way. The first moment I mean, the reaction was so amazing. Already because of the reaction was funny, and the person itself was funny. This woman, okay, she wanted to be a Barbie doll. So her idol was a Barbie doll, and she basically removed so many ribs out of her body to the point that she made her waist up to 14 inches. 14 inches. And the thing is, what has happened is the waist has become so tiny that she doesn't look a human at all. And the freaking
Hmm.
only the bottom is the hips and the bottom are so wide, and she has used breast implants to the point that she's made it huge, and she forgot back to forgot to like let's just say ki, she forgot to increase her back width. What has happened is her back looks big from the top. There's no back at all
Mm-hmm.
because of the ribs that have been taken off, excess ribs, because your ribs connect to the backbone. Yeah, there's no ribs. So whole thing, in order to look beautiful, she basically ruined her entire body symmetry, just to look perfect to something which is fictional. You wasted so much money to look like shit.
So like, she, I mean, she's living normally, or like she has many problems or complications?
I don't, at the moment, I don't know there's any complications, but just imagine your ribs are essentially your protectors. You move your ribs. Imagine if I take a football, I kick it, she's done. I punch her, done. Like there's nothing. And someone punches you in the ribs, sometimes the ribs crack, but the organs are safe. This is like freaking cage. So your rib cage essentially protects your lungs, your heart. So just imagine, no ribs, what's going to happen? There's a reason. There's a reason for it to be kept like this. Your body. And then
Hmm.
another weird. There are a lot of examples. Another weird example was I was laughing. So I'm just going to quote another example, and then we move on. The another example was there were two. Okay. Oh no! I quote three. So one guy wanted to look like Kim Kardashian. He wanted to look like Kim Kardashian. The guy just goes on and on with lip fillers and everything. It injects, makes the lips so fat, okay, to the
Hmm.
point that it bursts. And they say it bursts, a lot of liquid comes out, pus and whatever shit. I mean, it's horrible.
Hmm. Sounds disgusting though.
Yeah, disgusting as. And the thing is, again, then another example is that the mother and daughter, they idolized one British model. They're from London. So the daughter goes to a strip club, gets a lot of
Mm-hmm.
money because the narrator was saying, how do you they spend so much money to look like this kind of model. How did you get the money from? So they said, number one, she goes to the daughter went to the strip club, worked in the strip club, but the money was still not enough for the amount of operations they were doing. So what happened? She found a lot of sugar daddies, who the guys are ready to waste money just for attention from the girl.
Hmm.
So she got a lot of money from that from the sugar daddies. She used that money to fulfill her dream and her mom's dream, and I mean, to the point that they are using lip fillers and again making their lips big as possible. And all hell broke loose. They are putting implants and everything, and they were saying that the upper lip is so big. They stuffed a lot of the upper lip. Okay, so they are saying that we are so happy we're getting so much attention. All the people are saying your lips are big, your lips are big. I'm like, of course, you're putting so many injections and your lips are standing out. Why won't the people not notice their lips are not big? And they're saying, no, we want to make it even bigger. I'm like, you're ruining the beautiful proportion of a human body that was already given to you. I mean, people are so sick in the head. I was fuming.
Yeah.
I was just fuming. And the thing is, when you say, I'm questioning this whole narrative. The people say, "Na, ki you want to be happy, be happy by who you really are. If you're really
Mm-hmm.
happy, why do you have to do this plastic surgery and all that just to look a certain way when you can accept who you really are and really just make this body, your mind, and be beneficial to the world? Why are you trying to edit yourself?" And uh, in the reaction video, Vicstar123, the one of the sidemen, he pointed out a very good point, and I do agree to that. So most of these cosmetic surgeries and everything over time, you look good for 5 years, 10 years. Your human body, age catches up. The plastic will not change by age. Plastic is ageless, but the skin underneath your body is aging now. Just imagine how the plastic would look on that's weird skin that's under you, like the age, your your age, as your age is going, your body is deteriorating. The plastic will mold into that deteriorated state. So how many other surgeries you need to do just to keep that proper? So you're going in this rabbit hole,
Mm.
and it's a never-ending rabbit hole. And I mean, and most of these people look so weird. I mean, you could use this money to like invest in something else, improve a lot of people's life. And if you want to have a good body, just work out and get. Why do you need these implants and everything?
I
I
think
mean,
people are just too lazy.
it's not lazy. It's
I think it's more about once you have the money, you don't really know where to spend it, so you do
but
stupid stuff without even thinking twice.
the point is, the one of the examples I told you, na, where do you get so much money? I like no explanation
I,
to it. And these people are good.
it's sometimes just like if you have a credit card, then you can do anything and then pay by like end of the month. So
I
people
don't know,
do
but
somehow manage to get the money.
I like since it's going on live, there's a particular thing I do want to say, but I'm at the moment. Maybe we will talk about if we will talk about this topic again. Maybe we'll talk when Kiwi comes. It's gonna be more fun. But for now, we'll just sideline it. But anyway, it is the thing is that this is the crazy things that's happening on on the planet Earth. Uh, I don't know.
Hmm.
Are we alone? If so, why just I just want to migrate somewhere where real.
I have a feeling they're more to just humans. They're more creatures in the universe.
Honestly, if you think about this, we are living in the Milky Way, and we are just and we live at the end, like when one of the end of the rings, a small section, and then I was actually seeing a couple of months ago, like within this year, I think January or February, or maybe last year. But before we started this series of podcasts, I think when did we start doing podcasts? I think we started doing in March.
March for
Yeah,
Feb.
yeah. So I was looking into these things that NASA has sent a lot of telescopes, Hubble telescopes, and a lot of telescopes. Now, by this time they've already left the solar system. They're just wandering around aimlessly, but they're giving us, photos and pictures of different solar systems and whatever. Uh, the what the scientists were saying that uh, each there are multiple Earths in in one galaxy in this Earth-like planets basically. And they say because why there's Earth-like planets, because they have the same characteristics apparently like the Earth. There's vegetation, there's water, all that is there, and they are exactly located in the same exact location as how the Earth is,
Hmm.
like Sun, Venus, Mercury, and then that Goldilocks zone where the Earth is. Earth is not too far, not too close. So the same kind of ratio is also there in the other solar systems essentially. And then I was researching upon one thing is to travel between different solar systems, just solar systems, because one solar system itself is light years away. Okay,
Hmm.
So they were saying that, and the scientists divided all these solar systems into different sectors. So they said this is sector B1. This is, for example, sector B1, which is very close to our solar system. What they say is, if we take the conventional spacecraft, it will take you 1,000 years, a few thousand years, which is
Okay.
impossible. We have 100 years of a lifespan. That's it. We'll die in the spaceship and we'll never reach the destination.
Yeah.
And what has happened is, now essentially what they're saying is, in order to reach the other section of the galaxy, you gotta be faster than the speed of light, not sound, faster than the speed of light, which is essentially it's a very tough task to do. On the contrary, a lot of research has already been done. If you see the movies like Hollywood movies, always talk about things that do come into reality. So
Yeah.
it's based on scientific facts, though, these things. So if you watch Star Wars and all these, you see these big ships, even Guardians of Galaxy, these big ships that go from one section of the universe to other planets. There's fast
Hmm.
ships. How is it possible? And they're huge ships, huge. So they are saying that essentially this is so much. It's extreme physics, and it's so hard to explain. If someone, if I give certain terms and if someone understands, it's a big thing, but it's a very hard thing to explain. Essentially, what they're trying to do is to increase the speed of the ship towards to the speed of light. You have to use anti-gravity particles. Something, there's gravity, there's anti-gravity also. So gravity is positive energy, negative energy is anti-gravity. You use that kind of energy and you create a, a space around the shuttle, space, and that somehow will create this kind of capsule, like a hyperloop. This is a capsule based mode of transport. So it'll create a capsule which will push the ship into that kind of speed. Now, you do the scientists even say that the space itself is like a, so it's a weird thing. Anyway, we are getting a like a timer on the Zoom call. Anyway, uh, so it's a very tough thing to explain, but it's already research papers have been done. So if someone
Yeah.
would be interested into this physics and scientific things, you can look it up. It's some I've never understood physics. Always is just bounce ups and down.
Yeah.
The only thing that I ever got interested in physics was the teacher at the school. Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
There's some current updates I kind of just got, and like random updates, random current world updates. There's this, Jet Airways, right? The airlines.
Yeah, yeah, Jeremiah. Yeah,
It's being said that they might start flying out, like they might start again by in the coming, like this year, in this year. It was supposed to be in June. Then they've done three successful test flights, and I think it should be approved by within the end of this year.
one did the ones that I think they got bankrupt and a lot of them were being kicked
Yeah,
out.
and back in 2019, I believe,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
19 or 20,
yeah. So
they got bankrupt.
finally they are
There was
getting
a
back.
lot of stuff, and some Dubai-based investors put money into it, and they started to get people, and they've done three successful passenger test flights. I think Delhi, Mumbai, and Mumbai, somewhere like small
Yeah.
places. I mean, sorry, I mean like main city places, and it's actually a kind of a good news, and it's going to be a very tough competition for the new ones like Go Air,
Spice
Vistara
Jet,
Airlines.
Indigo.
SpiceJet is kind of already they're in the game for a very long time. Like Indigo is kind of a big company. Indigo, Air India, they're like big companies. Go Air, Vistara Airlines. These are kind of a new ones. Like they just been in the market for like
Mm.
4 5 years. But Jet has been like for so many years, and it's kind of going to be a very tough competition for Jet, as Indigo and Air India have been taking the skies, and they're like the mafias of the sky.
Yeah. You can't. You gotta be the top dog to overthrow the mafia or be
Yeah,
part of
man.
them.
So
Yeah.
kind of excited for it, but also scared. Like I don't know what they're going to do, how they're going to cover up everything. Because feeling is that they might keep the prices up
If
initially.
the hostess are good, then the plane will go.
This guy. I mean, I'm the one. See, I don't even look into all that aspect. I just look into the aircraft. If it's a good, if it's a new aircraft, then I'm
Honestly,
like, oh,
honestly,
more than
true. You
happy.
know, honestly, on a serious note, you need a good leg room, and at this,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and the aircraft has to be spacious, and the seats, especially the mid rows where you sit, four guys sit next to each other.
Have you ever been in Emirates A380?
Emirates A380, no, I never got a chance to fly in an A380, but I would love to. But on the,
I've
but
flown once in my life to London, and bro, the economy seats are so freaking comfortable. Like I would never say it for any economy seat, but Emirates A380's economy seats so
and
comfortable. Like
they
you won't
know
even feel it.
the thing is, it's actually I've noticed one thing. It's not the plane company that makes the seats comfortable. It's the airline
Of
that
course, yeah.
the airline decides how we want the setup. And Emirates is really good at one
There's
thing is
no
the comfortability. But I would argue in some of the aircraft, like the ones which you go to India sometimes, the 737 or sometimes you two
777. Yeah,
the Boeing 77, yeah, Boeing 77, yeah. The Boeing setup for economy is average to good, I would say.
yeah,
It's like the legroom is good enough, but I could say that they could be a bit more, especially for me. I'm quite a huge guy, my legs are quite long. So for
I mean,
me,
you always have business class for all that stuff. I think that's why they have business class, because you want more leg room. Come, pay more. Pay
I,
at least 8,000 dirhams to come for business
no, no,
class.
no, no, no. If this shit becomes amazing, then I don't need to pay. The people will give me the seat. Yeah, come, big man,
Oh, damn nice.
big
Hopefully,
man,
yeah, that happens. The other
big.
update I wanted to bring out is the Formula One race. I don't know if you have seen it. There was a Formula One race in Monaco, if you know where that is.
Monaco,
And
not
that's
Monaco, Monaco.
same thing, man. It's like potato, potato, potato.
No, 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 no. If I say
It is.
if I okay, khali wali.
So, anyways, so over there, that's one of the most controversial racetracks ever built, and like there's so much issues now. Like this year, there were like so many issues, and sadly, Ferrari came in second, and Red Bull again came in first. So it's quite disappointing because there was an error made in. They both cars were called in for pit to the pit lane, and it was actually not supposed. The second car wasn't supposed to be in the pit lane, but yeah, and because of that, they lost. I mean, not really lost, but Ferrari came in second. I'm a huge Ferrari fan and supporter, so
Which guy
very
is not?
disappointed.
Which guy is not a fan of Ferrari? Even though I have no knowledge of F1. But speaking of
Yeah,
Ferrari, every guy. But whenever Ferrari comes to a mind, if you say Ferrari, no one thinks about the F1 car. Everybody thinks about the F that Italia, the Ferrari 458 and Ferrari Spider. I think there's a thing called Spider, yeah, something.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is very ironic that whenever it's something comes in Ferrari, the first thing I think about is a Ferrari Formula One car, and then I come to those cars. It's very weird.
No, but
I don't know why.
you know, but you got F1 craving for F1 in the recent years. If you go for like
Recent
four,
years,
five,
but I have a
if
thought
I
of.
ask you like 5 6 years ago, when back in school days, if I'd ask you a Ferrari, what thing will come in your, which car will come in your mind?
I think, and yeah, in that moment, maybe the normal cars would be like
Yeah.
if you
So
say Rolls Royce. If you say Rolls Royce, I won't think of the car. It's the engine, the plane's engine, Rolls
when
Royce
I
engine.
think of Rolls Royce, I think about Rolls Royce. I think about the
Yep.
car.
That's what that's the difference I wanted to kind of make. That it's about how you perceive things, like same things. If you say
And
Rolls Royce, I'll be thinking of the Rolls Royce plain jet engine and not the car because I'm not a fan of the car,
and
anyways.
the car I became a fan of that car even more, of Rolls Royce, when I watched Johnny English Reborn in that.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, they really marketed the car as superb, superb, with a bit of a spy touch. So it was good. It was good.
Hmm.
Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean is a fond of cars. He's a car fanatic himself. So in his Mr. Bean, in his John English series, the first one he had an Aston Martin. The second one he had Rolls Royce. Third one he essentially had BMW i8,
Hmm.
and then he uses a very extreme antique car, antique in a sense that it goes on fossil fuels in his car. I don't think it was we ever used it. I don't know what, I don't remember. It's some Mustang car or something. I don't remember, but it was because the gist of that movie was analog versus like old school versus new school, old
Hmm.
technology versus new technology. That was the theme. Anyway, uh, moving on to again current world events. Let's just have a little bit of chat on the case between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Uh, Honestly, uh, they have won the case. I mean, Johnny
Who
Depp
has
won.
won the case? Johnny Depp has won the
Yeah,
case.
Johnny Depp won the case. My thoughts, essentially, I did not know the nitty gritties of what exactly happened and whatever, but I only knew before this that they got divorced, and because of Amber allegedly said that he abused her, beat her up and whatever.
Yeah, it was a defamation case basically.
Yeah.
She accused him for something which wasn't completely true, and so it was taken to the court.
Okay. The most notoriety thing I did not like about it was, and that's the only thing that mostly stood out for me. But this is before the defamation case, and I really do like to point this out. And I think it's because of, again, I would blame this because of feminism. Honestly, the fact that a lot of men suffer this is when a woman goes and says that, look, he assaulted me, and without there's always that the person has to be is guilty until until proven. It's not guilty until proven. A person is not guilty until he's proven. What has happened is, since she's a woman and she feels that she's been the world supports women, her delusional values, because you could see that she's sick.
Hmm.
What happened is Johnny Depp lost his famous iconic role, the Pirates of the Caribbean,
Captain Jack Sparrow.
like Jack Sparrow, and that was his last movie. Like, it was getting over. His lost his reputation, whatever. Although, look, I do not. One thing I believe, I don't look up to Hollywood celebrities and Bollywood celebrities, because essentially what happens is, I believe, like, you end up respecting the characters they play. You look up to the characters more than the sometimes the person, and then in your mind you put the actor to the character, and sometimes they both are not the same. You might see this guy completely compared to the what he's playing. That's why I do not like to idolize actors. So when the first time when the case came, even a lot of people do respect Johnny Depp. I could see why people respect now after the defamation case, but before that I was not even paying much attention, because I was just saying, look, both are accusing of each other. I do not know who is right or who is wrong. Okay, and and I do not like to play the fan game, because look, essentially what happens is, if you're an Amber Heard fan, what are you gonna do? You're gonna say, "Oh, Johnny Depp is shit," and if you're a Johnny Depp fan, you're gonna say Amber Heard is shit. There's no
No, of
point
course,
in
like
wasting your time.
wherever whose fan you are, you'll support them obviously.
Exactly. You do not know the inside shit. So I was like, it's not much of a big deal. And by the way, it was a divorce case. It wasn't something big deal. Like, in terms of, it wasn't. won't affect my life, or it's not was not a big deal anyway. The only thing that I did not like about was that, okay, you made a claim that he assaulted you. It's not proven. So why the hell companies like Disney or just leave away just because she's a woman and you can do it? If it had
No,
been,
usually it's like the reputation of the company and whoever's for like
but the thing is,
working with you. Any no like even TikTokers, like if anything weird comes out about them, all sponsors and everyone, they take the vibe because they care about their brand name. So if someone's associate, like if you did something bad, you associate with Nike, so Nike wouldn't want their name to be like come in that fight. Like they don't want their reputation to go down just because you fought with some people and you're linked to that company. So that's why I think this needed to back.
they could have done it with Amber Heard also, because at the same time there was a contrary. There was also the thing that she stabbed his finger in and broke his finger. Yeah,
Yeah, she threw that wine bottle, I think, and then broke it.
whatever the case way. If that was the now, this is proven that she did it, but back then it wasn't proven. But she got all the roles. She got the Aquaman role. She was flying, but although she was guilty, now proven that she's guilty. But the same kind of message was applied to her in a sense that she is not guilty until proven. If you really want equality, if you really want proper justice, then you should also give the man the same level of what you call equality. You can't come here and say that we want equality. Where's the freaking equality now? Okay, a lot of guys suffer like this. I was, and this will lead to a lot of suicide because you basically the person has lost his job for years. This man is powerful. He has people around him. Okay, fine. He got saved. The same thing happens. The I've seen some cases where, okay, the best example I can give is recently that happened in India.
Yeah, I was
The
gonna say
Lucknow, the cab driver, the
cab
silly,
driver.
silly lady comes and slaps him 25 times. He didn't do anything. I would have wished he should have done it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He had the right. He could have done it. The best thing he would, if he slapped her, it would be amazing. Now what happened is, yeah, in his interview, he was saying, I lost my reputation because the girl just made it up. It, when the truth came, finally he got, but the same kind of respect you won't get once you lost it. Is breaking
Yeah.
respect is easy. Earning respect is a big
Hmm.
thing.
Even previously, this thing happened at some delivery. I
Uh,
forgot what delivery person was it. That delivery person, he went to deliver the food. The lady denied to give money, and so she made it up that he punched her nose,
uh,
and there was like a cut.
apparently he got late, and you have this thing that you get, if you're late you get free food or something, but he was on time.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
something
think
happened.
yeah. It's something like that,
uh,
but that delivery didn't have this. Yeah, Domino's has this thing that if it's late for like 45 minutes, then you get a free compensation. But he was like like how Uber Eats work, the
uh,
same thing. He was
he
kind
was
of the
Zomato,
third party.
Zomato. Again,
Zomato, yeah, Zomato,
and the girl faked it, like she punched by the ring of that guy.
yeah,
All that bullshit is her nose is
it's all
broken.
fake. So
Drama.
this is what's happening now. Like feminism kind of thing is going on, like supporting women, and now this is happening that they are using it in a wrong ways, or the society is using it in a wrong way, not really women's.
This is the thing. Just because some bad men created a toxic society, and now what's happening is and it's being used as an excuse to give women so much power. This is the problem. Now they're getting so
Yeah.
much power. Now they're misusing that power. That's the problem. So this is one notoriety thing that I did not like about it. So how dare you? The same rule applies. Guilty and not guilty until proven. Both for the person who is guilty, person who is not guilty, because you do not know until it is proven. How can you say it's just a claim at the moment till all the evidences are there, are proofs are there? Fine. Then the second thing, or the only thing that it was worth noting was, honestly, at the start, I was not, again, I told I'm not a fan of Johnny Depp and all. But once, uh, But once finally the defamation case comes and we find out the truth is that Johnny Depp is not guilty.
He has to give Amber Heard $2 million for that current like small part where his accusation weren't right or weren't proven to be true.
Some mistakes were done, but I think overall the harassment towards that she was claiming she was the one who was harassing him. On the contrary, it was the other way around. And there were some recordings also where she was saying that I'm gonna hit you, but you don't should not hit me because you're a good man, something like that. There was a recording being played in the uh, courtroom. So his lawyer, matlab, the lawyer Johnny Depp was saying, if this was the man, if Johnny Depp was saying this to Amber Heard, you see what would have had happened. But glad it's the other way around.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
the most the most shocking thing what happened after the defamation case. Did you know the defamation case when he won? The most weird thing is happening on the internet now. Did you notice? Within
No, what
24
about it?
hours on Sky News and all this started happening. A clip that that since Johnny Depp won, the court is misogynistic
Why?
because the man won. The feminists are stupid. They hate men winning. They this is the problem with feminism: is complete arrogance in women that they cannot be wrong. They are sick in the head. That's what it is. And I mean, Amber Heard also writes in this message that since I lost, you know what now? How young women like me will get justice? Something like on those lines she was writing. Bloody, you made a mistake. What's going to happen is your mistake. Justice was served. To this time, justice was served. Finally, man got what he deserved. What is good because he was a good man. I don't think Johnny Depp is perfect, but in this sense, he did the right thing. You came like shit. You made fake evidences. Now you have to suffer the consequences. Simple as that. Why can't you accept loss?
Yeah, true.
Instead of saying this misogynistic, toxic masculinity, bullshit, shit, all these words they're using.
Yeah, we will talk more in detail about this topic in the next podcast because we want people to know in more detail, and we'll have our guest speaker Kiwi. So, guys, stay tuned and do make sure you like and
Yeah.
subscribe to our channel.
But another thing, in the defamation case, there's another love story happening between Johnny Depp and the lawyer, and people are now,
Oh, the lawyer.
yeah,
Yeah.
like from the the funniest things were out of this was Amber Heard becoming a meme. My dog stepped on the bee,
My dog stepped on a bee.
Unagi.
and
Oh my God. Oh, everywhere.
and the fact that she and Johnny Depp are probably in love, who knows? And Joe Rogan was like
Oh,
praying and
I don't think so. They're good friends. Like the whole team they became good friends. That's what
no, no,
came out.
Joe Rogan's small clip was there. I was watching. Joe Rogan was saying that for by the will of God, this should happen. They should be lovers. They should be dating. Like people like like that fan following. Like okay, this with this, that's kind of happening with the lawyer and him. Yeah. So yeah, we spoke a lot of current updates and my facts. Oh, by the way, I just found a weird fact, but I think I'll talk in the next podcast because I want to talk about this. This is going to be a very cringy. It's going to be a very unique one. So stay tuned for that
Oh
also.
boy.
Yeah. Anyway, you were talking about you were hit me up with a would you rather question and then we end the podcast. Yeah.
It's for the sake. Would you rather get rich in a way that disappoints your family or just make enough money to live?
Again, I said that it depends on the individual. How close are you with your family?
Now, when you say family, is it like your extended family? You're including your extended family, or just your mom, dad, and your like your family?
Mom and dad, yeah, mom and dad, yeah. Or probably okay, or some cousin or something, but maybe extended family also. But usually, when you say family, your family will always compromise with your nuclear because you're in a nuclear family. If it could vary for someone who is in a joint family, it depends. So it goes for me. But and this and by the way, this will be even important for someone who's living in a joint family because then you have a lot of people in your family that have like expectations from you that you do not do something to break that reputation. So you become
Yeah,
extra careful. Yeah. So basically, I'm close to my family, especially my mom. So you you gotta think like is it worth making so much money to the point that your family is uh disappointed in you. And at the end of the day, sometimes money comes and goes, and when you have bad days, the only person you realize is on your family. So if you have good ties, it's better. Otherwise, what's the point? Actually, to be honest, my answer I would be tempted to answer I want to make more money. Who doesn't want to make more money?
exactly.
Who doesn't want to make more money? It's not, but you gotta
But it's the right way, actually.
you gotta weigh options. I always think about this on my own. Yeah, okay, how much money you put forward more than important people. It's just like this kind of a relation. Like we always say, na, this term, bros before girls, because it's important because your homies are always gonna be there. This girl comes and goes. It's the same thing. I think your relationship with the money is kind of similar to that. I feel like that. I know I may be wrong because there are certain things in life that are anchored. You can lose that anchor
Yeah.
by chasing something else completely. That's the thing. What about you?
Yeah. I think I'd go for the same thing that I'll just make a living out of it, like make money as far as I can make my living out of it. And it's because I mean, obviously, the first thing that could come is like your family. If you made money, but your family is not happy with it, what's the point? And you don't. It's basically like you're rich, but you're sad. There's this thing. Would you rather
Ah,
be rich and sad, or would you be poor and happy? So it's just kind of the same thing
and
that
and
I mean, even if you're rich, you're sad.
and the thing is, I don't know. It depends on how people make money. If they're for selfish reasons, of course they don't care if there's for the family and all. But most of us, at least what I know from our friend circle, is that when we aim that to have a good life, is that we want to cater to our parents, to our family, and our future family. So it's a more of though you're being selfish, but you're not being too selfish because you're being selfish in order to be generous later on in life. So what's the point in doing something that disappoints them to the point that probably you are doing something that disappoints them so much that they will reject everything you share to them? Okay, you buy a good house, they say, F, I don't
Exactly.
want your house.
And even our religion, it teaches to like make a earning, but like in a good way, in a proper way, and not any wrong ways like
Ah,
that
speaking of
could
speaking
harm
of
any other person. So I'd go for something and make a living out of what how much ever I can.
speaking of this same thing, uh, so there's a latest Sidemen video, and again I was and you go and have a watch of it. Go and have a watch of it. It's funny, but it's extremely 18 plus. I
Which
would
one?
love
Sidemen reacts?
not reacts. This is a Sidemen. The other one was Sidemen reacts. This is Sidemen's latest video. We cannot put it on this because it's a complete 18 plus video. The jokes and everything are just too damn much, and I don't know. But anyway, he was talking to so it was a dating setup basically, and the guys used to and the other guys the sidemen would put in the earpiece and tell him to do some crazy shit. Anyway, they were talking, but the guy this time wasn't being told to ask this. He himself told this, asked this, and he was talking to the woman that he was saying, "Would you let would you let me have a dump on her chest? Have a dump?
You mean like poop on her
Yeah, yeah, dump.
and or
No, would you let me? Would you let me?
oh, okay,
For
that's a question.
would you
Okay,
let me for like a billion, like a $10 million or something? He said, okay, he asked him this
Yeah.
question. The girl was 42 years old, so she played around, but she said, "Look, I'm priceless. I'm priceless, mate. I'm priceless." But he goes and asks the watchers. He said that, "Look, if this question is posed to you, would you let somebody have a dump and you get $10 billion? You're set for life, essentially. But you have to just do this itsy bitsy. Are you willing to do?" So coming
Is
down,
it is it is it live telecast thing?
it was not live. It was
No,
this.
I mean, would that if that situation is there, would it be recorded?
No, 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 not recorded. Not recorded.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't do it, man. It's like it's a very disgusting thing, even though it's just going to be for a second. But nah, man, that's going to be
This is the
awful.
thing, yeah. This is the thing. Some people are willing to do anything just for money. That's the thing. So, but the video was so damn good that a lot of American streamers and everybody were watching, and it got views in like in 24 hours. So some people they watch on Twitch and then they upload that video on Twitter on sorry, YouTube. So I was reacting to a guy who was reacting to this video after when I watched the full video. When the time comes to this part, he was also asking his followers. You see the chats in the Twitch chats on the side of
Yeah,
screen. Believe me, the amount of people were saying yes. I was like saying, this is what has happened to people. Like, are you willing to do any disgusting thing just to get money? But you know what? I say this, but then I think to myself, like, even though I'm not working, but I have a pretty good house and everything is there. But there's some people who are like, they don't have anything and they would be willing to just get the money. And if it means to just do a second, who knows? And it depends on people's
yeah,
needs. So we can't laugh at this situation, but yeah, you have to also understand and how much are you willing to sell yourself, your principles.
dignity.
Yeah, exactly. Where do you draw the line? Some people are forced to do it. Unfortunately, we can't.
Yeah,
That's a different thing. But if you have it, some dignity and esteem with you, and you can save it, then why do you want to destroy it? So that's one thing. Anyway,
true that.
it was a good podcast, and I think this is episode 15. Uh,
Yep.
and this is the thing. I always find it hard to conclude. So anyway, good night, good morning, wherever you guys are, and we
Make
see.
sure to subscribe.
And by the way, give me an idea for the thumbnail for this. I'm just going to put cartoon stuff on the as a thumbnail. No more of faces. Thumbnails, good cartoon thumbnails on
Cool.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. See you in the next podcast.
You
Good
don't
night.
want people to subscribe?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, share, and subscribe. Honestly, I forget to say it. Is that I'm just looking at the like every once in a while I look at my subscribers is stuck at 28. The previous
Hmm.
podcast we worked so hard and only getting 21 views. By the way, please watch the previous episode, episode number 14. Really, really good insight. Uh, and please watch this also. Good insight about feminism. I honestly, if some feminist watches this ever and she feels triggered, I'm happy because I don't care about your third, fourth world feminism. It started so, it started so in a sense, in an innocent way, like equality, equality, equality. Then from there it became a mad dog. I don't know. I would compare it to a mad dog. Like,
How sure are you that this part is going to be kept?
you keep it. Uh, mad dog. Anyway, good night. Please subscribe and see you soon.
See you guys.